What's up guys? So I wanted to discuss and make a deck breakdown of the Mathmech deck that I used to reach Master 1 in Season 33. Also the first part is gonna be I'm gonna discuss main deck and then I'm gonna talk about my extra deck. So first things first, you can see that it really isn't that much different from what majority of people are running, but these few changes are actually making a huge difference in my opinion. So first things first, microcoder. This card is a very powerful extender that is going to put one more Omni Negate on your field. That's also going to banish the card that you're going to negate. This is the card that you run together with the microcoder. They come in a package, and this is your Omni Negate. Usually you're gonna use this card from your hand in order to create Transcode Talker, Hit Soul or Access Code Talker. Most of the time it's gonna be these two. But yeah, it's a very broken card that adds one more Omni Negate to your field and makes your board a lot more powerful, because current meta requires even more disruptions than we already have, because decks are just getting stronger and stronger. The next card is going to be the Hand Trap, which I saw in Decade's video. Like, he was playing it in his Voiceless Voice 1 hour gameplay, and this card is really broken. You can see, I mean, popularity of Veiler is falling down, because I can tell you this card is very useless in the current meta, especially in higher ranks. It's a really good bridge for small world, but that's about it. A lot of time you're just gonna keep it in your hand because you're not gonna have anything to use it on, or you're gonna use it and it's not gonna do anything. So that's why Ghost Ogre is a lot better, because it's good into Yubel, it's good into Fire King, it's good into Voiceless Voice, it's good into Centurion. Overall, it's an amazing card in the current meta. For example, against Voiceless Voice, they use Barrier, you use Ghost Ogre, they're gonna end turn in 90% of the cases. This card won me more duels than Max C did. It's really good. Next two cards are Harpy and Heavy Storm. These are basically back row removal cards, and once again, amazing in current meta. They are good into stun, into Yubel, into Centurion. They kill Fire King instantly, even though Fire King's popularity is not that high right now. It's a great deck, but it's pure interaction deck, like Despia, so its popularity is very low because it's very difficult to play. So yeah, now we can move on to the extra deck, the spicy stuff. Basically, I can safely tell you this is the best Mathmech extra deck you can have. Besides Freedom's version, that guy is just next level, he plays something very unique. But we're focusing on regular Mathmech. This is the best extra deck you can run for Mathmech, and each card has a purpose. Let's discuss the differences now. So this guy won the Meta Weekly with Mathmech, but his extra deck is suboptimal, and I can pretty much argument everything that I'm going to say. The first difference we can see is the lack of jammer. This card is really good because it allows you to OTK people with access code Talker in a way where you're going to clean up their entire field. And that's required right now, because if you're playing against Yubel, how do you expect to OTK him? Like, this is the best way to OTK Yubel. By just popping Nightmare Pain, by popping their monsters. That's the only way, pretty much. Like, that's the best way to beat Yubel, to beat Horus, to beat a lot of decks, to beat Voiceless Voice. Like, you just need access code OTK line. This guy doesn't have it, and when I analyzed his duels in Meta Weekly, I also saw like he lost a few duels where this line would have won him the duel. So yeah, that's the first thing. Second thing, he's running these three cards together. This is something you mustn't do because it's really bad, and the reason for that is because they are pretty much the same thing, with Singularity being better option. So the reason why they are the same, so your end board with Masquerena is gonna be Terahertz plus Masquerena on the field. that loses to Super Poly. Second thing is, when you use IP Masquerena to create SP Little Knight from your Laplacian and Masquerena, SP Little Knight offers you 2 disruptions, which is exactly the same amount of disruptions this card offers. And plus this card has way more value because it's a strong boss monster, it serves as a turn 2 OTK as well, it serves as a first turn disruption, like it's really broken. It also allows you to have a better grind game. But yeah, in the current meta where Super Poly isn't that popular, this card is insane. But like I said, when you run these 3 together, it just doesn't work because they do the same thing. They are vulnerable to same things, and you're just losing variety because you lost Hit Soul and you lost your turn 2 OTK line with access code. You're just losing variety for no reason, and the only thing you gained is the same thing that you already have. And that's the biggest reason why you need to run this version of extra deck, because it has a purpose. Like also Hit Soul, he's not there only when you have this in your hand. It's also there when you only have Transcode, Splash and Decoder on the field, plus 1 card, which is usually gonna be Alembertian. So what you're gonna do there is Splash Mage plus this into Hit Soul, draw 1, and then Hit Soul, this and this into Terahertz. Now once again, you can create Masquerena from that same board, plus 1, and then you can send a Dot Scaper, and yeah, then you can have Masquerena and Terahertz. But the thing is that you need to pay attention to is when you're sending Dot Scaper, like I don't usually do this, because when you send him, you're basically losing 1 disruption, because then you cannot send both Aggregator and Desave. So you're losing 1 disruption when you're doing that. So usually when you're creating your strongest boards where you have him and him, it's gonna be from you already having an extender in your hand, like this, whatever. So yeah, that's something you need to pay attention to, and that's the reason why this extra deck is the most optimal one. Also, one more difference is this guy. So this is relatively new card, but his, how can I say, place is usually Aggregator. You're putting him instead of Aggregator. But this card isn't really that good because, for example, Centurion is the 2nd most popular deck, and this card doesn't do anything against Centurion. You're basically putting them 1 monster in the back row, but they can summon that monster from the back row anyways. So it doesn't do anything. Plus, it has a cost. You're required to send 1 card from your hand in order for this card to work. So I would say just stick to Aggregator and learn the right timing for it to use it properly. But yeah, those are the reasonings why this extra deck is the most optimal one, and I pretty much have an argument for everything. Like each and every card in this extra deck has a clearly defined purpose. That would be everything, I guess, and thanks for watching, and I'll see in future seasons if I'll have enough patience to play the game again